going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm in BGC in Taguig, Metro Manila in the Philippines. And today I'm going to be talking about, is it worth it to live over here in this district? You know, it has a reputation of being pretty expensive, one of the most expensive areas in BGC. And it might be accurate, but I'm going to see also, is it really worth to live around here? You know, what are the benefits of living in a district like this? You know, what does it offer? Sometimes you got to weigh the cons and the pros. Everybody has different type of lifestyles, so you got to figure also if it's the lifestyle that somebody's looking for. So without further ado, join me. I'm going to start walking around the district. I've filmed here a couple of times, but I'm going to do a little mix of a walking tour and explain to you why I think it's still totally worth it to live here in this beautiful area called Bonifacio Global City. So by the way, the name of this area here in BGC is Uptown. You know, it's divided by multiple districts, and it's really, what they got here is like the Uptown Mall with some fountains. They also got a Japanese mall, Mitsukoshi, you know, with a food court and great food. This is actually Mitsukoshi over here. So I want to talk, you know, if anybody's going to be new here, before you guys be like, hey, you should explore more, get out of the developed areas, keep in mind, before I decided to make Philippines my home base, I've been here multiple times. I've traveled around, and then when I officially made the move to the Philippines, I've been to many districts in Metro Manila all over. You know, I've been to Pasay, Pasig, Mandaluyong, Quezon City. So you might want to scroll through the video section and check out all the areas I cover, you know, before you guys be like, I'm just glued to one developed area. But I'm trying to specify this video in BGC, you know, because a lot of people say like it's very, very high, the prices and stuff. And like I say, it might be more expensive than for a lot of locals to live over here. Sometimes you got to think, what does the district offer? You know, what are the cons and pros? What are the amenities that you could get living in an area like this? And I'm going to explain to you why. So first, a good thing about living in an area like this, even though it's expensive, is as soon as you step foot outside of your unit, you have access to many restaurants, coffee shops, stores, supermarkets, basic necessities. You know, like if you were to live in another district, you would have to take probably a public transport to get somewhere far, or if you have a car, you would have to ride your motorbike to get where you had to. But over here, everything is literally convenient within walking distance. Like you don't have to go too far to get anything, whether it's food, like I say, or supermarket or medical things. You know, you have it all within walking distance. That's something that makes this area pretty good comparing to other places. Another thing too is that it's a pretty safe, secure area. You know, it's pretty nice, clean, comparing to many cities back home in the West, where you're gonna see crime, you'll see homeless, addiction. They don't have that here, because this is like a highly monitored, controlled city. So like you're paying for safety, you're paying for conveniency, you know, you're paying for all the amenities that this has to offer. Of course, you can find many other places way more affordable in the metro part of Manila, but also a lot of these places that you find over here, most of it, it's like a condo that has pretty good amenities, but then once you step foot outside the condo, it's literally like nothing. Or there is something, you're mostly gonna see like a highway and not really like a community happening around. So you're gonna have to be forced to take a Grab and tricycle, any forms of transportation just to get to another side. Here, I don't have to do that. I could just get out, walk within walking distance to a mall, restaurant, supermarket, or if I wanna go further, I can do that. And then I'm a short Grab right away to other areas like Makati. I'm not too far from the airport, so you know, it has a lot to offer. Like I say, this is part of Uptown. See here, you see Key Coffee. I'm gonna have to try because it's always busy with people. And a lot of coffee shops, they be closing late out here. And you can see how beautiful the condos they have right here, you know, the amenities and everything. Here's another one, and they got a store that's called Landers. I'm gonna walk here to show you guys. I guess Landers is kind of like the Sam's Club, a Filipino version. I passed by it many times, but I had no idea that that was what's going on. So Landers, usually you gotta get like a membership, and then you go inside and they have like supermarket. They sell a little bit of everything, like big quality, you know, big quantity of products for a very affordable price. So they have that right here. This building here is Mitsukoshi, which is a Japanese mall. So yeah, Landers is right here in this condo area that it looks like if you're in Atlantic City or Las Vegas. It is called Uptown Palazzo. This over here is called Uptown Park Suites and then Uptown Palazzo, and you see the modern building that they got here, you know. And then over there, MC Home Depot is kind of like Landers. So you go inside, they got everything, like supermarket, they got stores and everything. And this is only a little portion of what I'm showing you. And then if you exit over there, That would take you to Capitolio and Pasig City, which they also have Ortigas and a couple of business districts out here. Then here you see how nice the sidewalks is. And no matter what time of the day you go, what day of the week, there's always something happening in BGC, you know. People from all walks of life, a lot of expats choose to live out here. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about also. Like I said a little bit before when I started the video, people are different. Some people, they prefer the quiet life in the province. Other people prefer the city. I'm talking to people like me who are a city person because they love the city lifestyle. So, you know, like I say, maybe it's a little bit over your budget, but you get pretty much the amenities of a city over here. But this is still much more affordable than any city you get back in the US, like New York City, LA, or what else? I think Miami too. Like in New York, man, a place like this is probably gonna cost you like $4 grand, maybe more. If you're lucky, maybe $3 grand, but then the ones who are $3 grand US are not really like a good quality of condo. But here condos, they can be from 500 US, 600, you know, depending. You can find something expensive, but then they're very good condos, and then like I say, everything is just within walking distance. And then despite BGC being a nice area, it still keeps developing. They're building much more things. Now they're literally building like a new street over that way. Like will connect you literally Uptown with High Street, because most of the times if you live over here in Uptown, you gotta go like literally around the area just to get a High Street, but now they shortcutting like a street that could make you easy to get over that way. You see is the famous Uptown Mall, which in the nighttime it does like a little Vegas performance. The fountains that be lit up, and they got music playing. I'm gonna make it towards where the graffiti is to show you what's going on. And then of course, you know, beautiful architecture that they got going on over here. One thing that I like about Uptown comparing to other parts in this district is the sidewalks, how wide they are. Like you can see behind me, wide, and they maintain it pretty clean, you know. So yeah, like I said, I've only walked probably like 2 blocks since I started the video, and you can see how many restaurants and amenities I got within walking distance. This is only like a little portion, so like I say, I think it's worth it to pay that price of money to live out here, you know. Because this is, of course, obviously, you know, if you can afford it and if you really love city lifestyle, then this is most of the amenities that you're gonna get out here. Oh, here's a famous nightclub, Zelo, I think it's called. Then they got a couple of restaurants over here. In the nighttime, beautiful because they lit up with the lights. So I remember the first time I came, I didn't know that they had a place like this in the Philippines called BGC. And I fell in love with the area, and it's been getting better throughout the years. And I said one day I want to make this like my base, and finally I made BGC my base. But like I said, I'm always going to explore all over the Philippines. This is just like a first video since I set my base here in BGC. But I want to explore like the outside areas where Calayan Avenue is. I already did a video of me walking from Guadalupe to here and then outside. But over that way they got Calayan Avenue that would take you right into C5. So I want to walk towards that area. I already explored Pambo, but I want to go back and explore. And then I want to take the, I think it's called Butan or Buta shortcut that would take you to South Sambo. I think I could be wrong, but that's like a little barangay that has a lot of street food. And a lot of people that work around here, they live in those areas or they go there and they get their food. So there's a lot to see and a lot of contrast, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And if we keep going over here, it's like the highway that I told you, Kalayaan, I think it's how it's pronounced. And then over that way, they got a Red Planet Hotel behind these buildings. You know, probably a little bit of an affordable side. I just found out that they had one over here. I had no idea. But yeah, I'm probably gonna walk towards this side and showcase you guys. Also in BGC, they have international schools, you know, because like I say, a lot of expats live here or probably work around here, so that their kids, they go to the international school over here. So that's also another convenient thing that BGC offers you guys. Also to make it better, even though this is gonna take a couple of years, I think, I could be wrong, I think it's gonna open in 2032, but like I mentioned in my previous videos, they're building Metro Manila subway, and BGC is gonna have, I could be wrong, somebody correct me, I think 2 subway stations, or maybe 3. So far I know they're gonna have a subway station near Market, and they're gonna have a subway station around this area by Calayan and 9th Avenue. So that's very convenient for me. If I'm still based out here, I can literally just take the subway in Calayan Avenue, so that's gonna be something pretty interesting. And this is the other side of the road that I cross Uptown. And like I said, the nightclub is over there, but then they got like this, kind of looks like a strip mall plaza, but with class. Like they got, you know, restaurants, but then the sidewalk over here, it's looking pretty gorgeous in a sense. Uptown Parade. So I guess it's like a mini shopping center because BGC has, a couple of multiple shopping centers next to each other. And then they just opened a new one. I think it's called Triangle Mall. I might go take a look at it. Never been there. So far, the biggest mall that they have here is SM Aula Premier and Market Market. I think Market Market is actually the cheapest mall you're gonna find here. And then they even have like an outdoor market in the outside of the mall. So, yeah, pretty convenient. I just can't get enough of these sidewalks, how nice it is. Wow. Looks like the city of the future. This is probably the nicest intersection in Uptown. Of course, you got this, then over here too, you got the massive Uptown parade. But this over here is pretty nice. So I'm gonna go up there to capture the views of the city on this side. Like another cool thing, you can rent a bike, but then they have an area here where you can park all of your bikes. I'm wondering if I can transfer my folding bike from Jersey City here to Metro Manila. That would be cool. But then you can rent, scooters and everything if you want to go to another side. But like I say, this is actually a little big neighborhood, so if you don't feel like walking to the other side of BGC, then maybe it's good if you have like a bike around here. Once you make it an Uptown Mall, the main attraction is that over there. But then over here, you got this over here that looks beautiful. And I've been to, different cities throughout Southeast Asia. This is probably like the closest district that reminds me of back home, back in Jersey City and New York City area. But they did a pretty tremendous job, developing all this area over here. So that's what I say, it's pretty much worth the price that you pay to get amenities like this. Well, here, this is the famous stairs. They design it beautiful, and a lot of people, they come out here and they get pictures with the stairs. It's like literally like butterflies. Here I am in one of the malls of BGC, Uptown. Not really that big, but it's actually a nice looking mall, so I'm just gonna show you a little bit. Here you see it's like multiple levels. I think it's 3 stories tall, so they got a nice decoration, and they keep it pretty nice and clean. And over here, seems like they're gonna build something else, and you see some of the high-rise buildings. Then on the other side, I think it's a big international school. It's actually pretty big. It looks literally like a university. And in the nighttime, this over here, shortcut literally lights up. They still got the Christmas decorations right here, so I'm gonna shortcut over this way because I never walked over this side. The thing is, even though I've been here many times, I keep discovering new streets in BGC, and also they got like little local parks. So I mean, there's so much to do, and everything is just literally walkable. I had no idea this was here between the Avida buildings because I always walk by 9th Avenue, but they had this shortcut here with a Mart. Like a Mart, yeah, little store, convenience store. And that's why I say you pay what you get for, because you can live in these condos, and if you don't want to go far, you can literally just come downstairs and buy, juice or little conveniency, or you can walk a little bit more, a couple of blocks down, then you can find maybe something else you're looking for. So I'm gonna make it towards 11th Avenue because I never walked that side. I've always drive or pass in the Grab, but I never walked that side. That should take me towards the new mall, Triangle Mall, but I don't think there's really much over there. And if you look at the map, it literally looks like a triangle, so that might explain why it gets that name. But maybe I'll take a little peek in the inside. I'm not sure how clear you can see, but you see a rendering of another building that's gonna be built over here. Wow, seems like it's another mall. So like I said, everywhere there's still building, and then over here's where they got all the schools. I mean, this is part of the national school. I think this is the mall that I'm trying to see too. This is 11th Avenue, and see, they got a mall, then attached is the condo units. So yeah, it is Park Triangle. I've got to figure where the mall is, so I'm gonna walk a block down, and maybe it should give me access to where I want to go. See, the buildings and the condos keep going. So yeah, like I said, I don't think I ever been in this part of BGC area, but it proves that there's much to see around here. They also got like little local mini park that you can see. I'll probably walk towards a little local park later. Then this is 32nd Street, and this literally connects you like the whole part of BGC all the way to Kalayan Avenue. So some of the busy areas of the neighborhood. So I went inside Triangle Mall right here. Not too big. I entered a couple of clips, but I think it's gonna be a cool happening spot when it's fully open. A lot of stores are not open yet, but it seems like it's gonna have a lot of good restaurants. It's kind of giving me a little vibe of Gateway 2 Mall in Cubao. So I think it's gonna be kind of like that style of mall. So like I say, it's a new attraction happening here in BGC. So I think when it's fully open, it's gonna be pretty fun to explore. But now let's continue the exploration over here. Literally surrounded by skyscrapers. Good place to live stream too. If you guys know a little bit about me, you know I love street art. So I'm spotting a little street art in the building here. So I'm just gonna cross the street to show you. I think it's like an empty parking lot, but they got like a mural right in the building. So they got a couple of those around here for BGC. It should be over here. I never walk this area. I always go like Market and SM Ahora, but it's, you know, I think it's on the other side actually, but it's like the other side of where I go. And then over here should be the empty lot, and there it's gonna be like a street mural. And here it is. Like I say, nothing fancy, but it looks pretty cool. Then I'm not sure, here's empty, there's a parking lot, but maybe they're developed more and more. Then a couple of buildings, Shangri-La's all the way towards that way, so you have an idea what the neighborhood looks like. And I better hurry up because I think it's gonna rain. Like I'm literally looking at the clouds and it's getting dark. But the beauty about BGC is that they build buildings like this where they got the ceiling, so I can literally just shelter in the ceiling and not get wet. But that's the weather here. But I mean, during this time, I think the best month to come to the Philippines is usually in January and April, because that's when the weather is stable. It's not super hot and it's actually pretty comfortable to walk around. This over here, I believe, is Seda Hotel. We got a couple of those around the whole, you know, the Philippines, and a couple of condo units over here. So, yep, gonna cross the street. See, street's well paved. There'll be action once you make it a high street. Making it to the famous high street, which is like the pedestrian plaza, mixed-up shopping center that connects you most of BGC area where most of the people hang out. Here, as you see, not too busy now, but there's people, especially if you come in the weekend, in the nighttime, that's when it's gonna be a lot of people hanging out. Mostly teenagers there doing TikToks. It's not skaters, but I don't think it's allowed to be skating out here. It's probably bawal. But you have an idea, I wanna make it towards the other side, 28th Street, I think it is. Because they got another local park over there that I discovered not much ago. Here you can see more movements. So a lot of the streets outside of the high street are quiet, but then once you hit it over here, this is like the main point of connection. Guess if you have friends that live out here, you're like, hey yo, just meet me at High Street and Fifth Avenue or whatever avenue. There's another area that's pedestrian that connects you to another local park. So like I said, I discovered it not much ago, even though I came here many times. So gonna do a detour over there to show you guys. So I'm just shortcutting over this way, because if I go to High Street, it'll take me forever. Well, not forever, but you know, the movement, more people, and people walk slow. So I'm just trying to go towards this side and walk faster. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the little park that they have here. They have another one in 30th Street, you know, a little bit similar. So you see like in the one in 30th Street, people be jogging, doing exercise, or making videos. So like I say, you know, it's an area that literally has it all. So like, I think it's really worth it, the price that you pay. Of course, there are some that I think is a little bit exaggerated in the prices, but you can find other units for a decent price and live good out here. See, I've walked many blocks, and almost every block that I walk out here, there's something to do. Now I'm just gonna show you like a little local park here between 28th Street and 27th Street. This is one of the local parks. This is actually Terra 28. I think they do like night markets here. I'm not sure what specific days they do it. I'm gonna search it online, and if I see anything happen, I'll come out here and film it. But I think they have multiple night markets throughout the BGC area, and then sacred animals like cats. Hello, cat. How are you? See, it's coming towards me. Sacred spiritual animal. Seems like I have a new friend now. Oh shoot, now I just made a huge mistake. I'm gonna have to clean myself up, but the little mistake that I do is I have a cat home. His name is Bebo. It's a Siamese cat. And I'm playing with this cat, so if he smells the other cat, I think I'm in deep trouble. It is what it is, right? But hey, nice to meet you, cat. But like I say, if you come here to BGC, there's plenty of cats, and don't worry, they're well taken care of. People feed them, they get them food. And this is not really a big park, but it's actually beautiful because they got a lot going on. You can see how it is. You got this park and the condos. This actually reminds me of an area that I stay in Taipei in Taiwan. And then they got people here playing racquetball. I'll bring my stepson, he loves playing racquetball. And then people just hanging out here. This is actually like the western side of BGC, you know. High Street divides to the west and the east side. I've always explored mostly the east side, but this is the western side right here, and then you can shortcut over there to High Street. And then at the nighttime, they literally lit this up over here with decorations. So I might have to explore the area at night. And then over here, they have another pedestrian plaza with restaurants. And like I said, I discovered this area not much ago, like a week ago. Out of the many times that I come here, like it just keeps going. And at the other side, lots of kids playing, but I'm not gonna focus pointing my camera that way. I wanna show you the pedestrian side that we got going on right here. And this is the pedestrian side. And like I say, in the nighttime, it literally lights up. A lot of people, they be hanging out here. You can see how people are socializing all together. It's vibrant. Even though it's only like 4:50, and they got a couple of restaurants, like Western chain restaurants. Then the neighborhood keeps going towards that way. See, and this is how a city should look like. Walking distance, you get a little bit of everything. And that's why I think it's actually worth paying the price out here. Well, in front of me, I'm discovering a new installation. I see they have like a strip mall ahead of me, but I didn't know they had like a little bit of street art. But this over here is Maybank Performing Arts Centers. They have a plaza, they have a stage. So it seems like they're gonna have something happening here in the nighttime. I might have to come back and check it out in the nighttime. But like I said, I just keep exploring more and more out here. And this is it right here. See the staircases. Look at this beautiful futuristic skyscrapers. And then, I don't know, maybe here they put the market. So wow, BGC Art Center. I never knew they had an art center right here. I don't know why. Anybody from the Philippines helped me out with this. But like the leaves here, the trees, they're literally missing leaves. And this is a tropical country, especially over here. So I would understand like if you're like in the States or someplace where it's cold, but why does the leaves fall down? Like I'm looking at this and it makes me feel like if I'm back home in the States. But this is pretty vibrant. I never knew they had this area here in BGC. Yeah, not sure if you can see how they don't have leaves in these trees. I wonder why. I don't know if they burned the trees on purpose or, you know, anybody who is familiar with this, can they explain me why? Because, you know, here's a tropical country. Now, I want to show you a little bit of the art here. Like, they got a little bit of, it's not really street art, it's like a decoration that makes it look pretty nice. Hey, look at this. Oh, they even have the black community over here. Pretty well presented, that's beautiful. But yeah, look at this. Ahead it says BGC Music Festival. I'm gonna have to come back later and see what this is about. But yeah, see, oh, this is pretty cool. It says Maybank, Philippines. I like it out here, this is nice. Crazy that I never knew that BGC had an amphitheater over there. And it seems like it's also for the community because they have like a QR code where you can scan. There's another local park here, so I keep on exploring new things, and they got like a strip mall right here. So what, Chinese restaurant, I think, not a Chinese restaurant. I feel like if I'm in Taiwan right now, but this is Metro Manila, Taguig. So yeah, the thing is that when a lot of people come visit BGC, they always focus on the east side where Uptown is, High Street and Times Square, but they never focus like in this side. Also, BGC has like a national American cemetery, which is over that side. Not sure if it's allowed to film, but it is actually really massive according to the map that I've seen, and that's something that they have over here. So a lot to see, you know. I'm glad that I chose this neighborhood to be my base. And they have a basketball court here, so I could come here and shoot some hoops. It's actually really dope. Because believe it or not, Philippines, they really love basketball out here. I think that's one of the main sports that they play. And they got their team, the Gilas team, you know, and even a lot of foreigners that come and play out here. I'm gonna cross the street, I wanna check out the basketball court. Basketball is actually my favorite sport, so never knew they had a basketball court right here. I wish there was a basketball court in Uptown area where I'm based. It's a nice looking basketball court, clean, it's decorated, nicer than the ones in New York City. And then they have like a street art here. It looks like a guy going all the way to Spaceship, so that's nice. And of course, all the high-rise buildings right here in the strip mall. This is the area that I've never been. So they got a fast food chain, McDonald's. And like I said a million times in my videos, McDonald's in Asia is way better than the McDonald's back home in the States. And on the second floor, they got a couple of restaurants. This is called Forum South Global. So very cool. And then there's a local park over here that I want to check out. It seems like there's more in the other side too. But wow, like I tell you, Metro Manila never stops to amaze me. Even though I've been around here many times, like come around here and I see something new happening every time. It's like an open space. There was people playing earlier, but mostly teenagers. Then the cemetery, I think it starts in the Skinita over there. Then SM Aurai Straight. That's where they got the Bureau of Immigration building, and like the expats need to renew like their tourist visa or any visa form that they have. They go over there and they renew it. So I've seen this condo here featured many times, you know. I think it's a good price, but it's a little bit like isolated. But here, maybe they're gonna build more properties out here. But it's good to know what's happening out here. I think they could use this and develop like a pretty nice park, kind of like Central Park. Like I feel like Metro Manila could really benefit from that. So they do have an event in the amphitheater. One of the, I guess their organizers, they gave me here the paper. So yeah, it's a Beagle Music Festival. I guess they're gonna have performers singing, music. It goes from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And that's the beauty about this neighborhood here, BGC. Like, no matter what day, there's always something going on. Today is Saturday, so there is no excuse to get bored here. And that's why I say I think it's actually really worth paying the money that you pay over here, because you get a lot of things out here. So this area over here, not much going on, but I think there's gonna be a lot of heavy potential over here. They got like a nice looking condo. I really love the design. It's like futuristic, and it makes you feel like if you're back in the West. But yeah, it just proves, you know, that the Philippines can really have high-class modern cities like this, you know. But like I said, there's much more to explore, you know. Just like I mentioned in Jakarta, Manila is a city of contrast. Like they got the older part and the newer part. So, but a lot of foreigners love to come out here and focus on this side over here. So this is a nice looking condo. I'm trying to see like the bottom of the floor. Like this condo is really catching up my attention. It looks a lot like Rockwell, all the way up there. Wow. And you go over that way, and then the cemetery is all the way in the other side. So I think I'm just gonna literally turn back 7th Avenue. I'm gonna wait for the light to cross, and then I'll just make it towards the other side. Over here from a distance, they have another local park. Sure, even a dog park they have over there. But most of BGC and most of the neighborhoods in Metro Manila are pet friendly. You can bring your dogs. You know, a lot of people, even in the malls, you can bring them. Then over here's a lot of developments happening. This is 6th Avenue. I think I'm just gonna shortcut over here, back again towards High Street. To see what's going on, I don't think I ever walked towards this side. It's like I say, there's so much to see out here. And I'm glad that I chose to live out here, because now I can focus in exploring and hitting other neighborhoods around the area in Taguig and other parts of Metro Manila. Another cool thing that they open out here is the portal, which I know for me is not a big deal because we had that in New York, but they opened the first portal in Asia right in the High Street. And it's like a virtual screen where you can interact with people from other countries. I think they have 6 locations, and every 3 minutes they change the location. So a lot of Filipinos are being hyped up. They're being hyped up with the portal. Also over here, this used to be, I could be wrong, this used to be the Fort Strip, like a shopping center. They tore it down. I think they're gonna build like a huge, massive, fancy mall and a couple of condo units. You can see literally like all the high-rise buildings here in Taguig and Metro Manila. In this area, I saw filmed many times. We call it a Times Square BGC, where they got the neon lights. Most of the times it'll be a cat display, but now they got like a, I think it's a moon and the earth, so something actually really cool. And then over here's a famous portal. Comparing to in the States or other countries where you could get very close to the portal, here they have like a little fence line up so people can be only from a distance. But I think also another crazy thing is the time differential, so nothing crazy. This is it right now. It seems like it's off right now. Maybe later it'll turn it on. And I could be wrong, but I heard this is gonna be here permanent. But in the nighttime, this is gonna be packed with people, and this over here lit up. And this area is always busy no matter what. You can see the pedestrians crossing out here. So yeah, the people from all walks of life, tourists from other parts of the Philippines, and of course, foreigners like myself, they be coming out here. Like I say, a lot of expats, they live here. And that's the high street I was walking a little bit earlier. Here they finally put, well, this is actually the Tarsier. You can find that in Bohol in the Philippines. I did film a video in Bohol like 1 year ago. And if you go over there, it's Burgos Circle and Forbes Town Center. And towards the Burgos Circle, if you go underneath, they have something that really works with the flood control of this area. So I feel like many other districts in Metro Manila should take a little bit notes of that. I don't know how deep it is down, but it really helps with the flood. Because over here, you know, it rains a lot and they get typhoon, but not really like in the Metro Manila, but all over Philippines, depending where, you know, they're going to get some heavy typhoons. And then I'm not sure if they do it. Usually they used to do it on Sundays. Maybe they still do. I just got to find out. But sometimes they take this over here, like Fifth Avenue, and they close it down and they set up like a night market or a street market. And it gets pretty popular, like a lot of people. So, you know, the vibes are actually really beautiful. Now, I could blog here all day long, but I think I already shown enough and I proved my point of the title of this video. Like, is it worth it to live in BGC? And in my opinion, if you're a city person and you love city person, you love the city, walking distance, you love everything within doorstep of your apartment, then I think it's actually worth it to live out here. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.